Alright, let's talk about something we all struggle with: procrastination. Don't worry, I'm not about to tell you just do it because we both know that's easier said than done. Instead, I'll share some practical strategies that helped me get through college. Trust me, I've been there. I was no stranger to last minute cramming and the late night panic sessions. First up, we've got something I like to call strategic time blocking. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking, great, another person telling me to make a schedule, hear me out. This is different. You know that feeling when you sit down to study and you're like, okay, I'm going to study for the next 4 hours straight? Yeah, how often does it actually work? Never, right? That's because it's literally not how our brain works. Here's what you do instead, and this is something I wish someone had told me in my first year. Find your power hour. When you're the most awake, maybe it's right after your morning coffee, or maybe you're like me and your brain doesn't start working after lunch. Whatever it is, that's your golden time. Now, here's the cool part. We're going to use something I call the task sandwich technique. Trust me, it's a game changer. Think of it like making the perfect sandwich. You need the right layers in the right order. You start with something easy, like the bread of your sandwich. Spend just 15 minutes doing something super simple. Maybe organizing your notes or just reviewing what you did yesterday. Nothing scary, nothing intense. Then comes your meat layer, the big task you've been avoiding, but here's the trick. You're only going to do it for 45 minutes, not hours, just 45 minutes. Why? Because science shows that something about how long we can actually focus before our brain starts thinking about what's trending on TikTok. And finally, another easy task. Your other slice of bread, maybe summarizing what you just learned or getting your stuff ready for tomorrow, something that makes you feel like, yeah, I got this. Look, here's how I set this up on my phone. Instead of just writing study, I put actual specific things like 2 p.m. quick review of last lecture. At 2:15, write that annoying intro paragraph. At 3, organize sources. And yeah, being this specific might seem a little extra, but it stops you from having that moment where you sit down and think, what am I even supposed to do right now? Okay, let's talk about something that saved my life during exam season: the progressive starting technique. You know that moment when you're staring at a blank document thinking, I need to write 3,000 words, and your brain just goes, nope, and suddenly cleaning your entire room seems super important? Yeah, this is how we fix that. This technique is literally designed for when you can't get started because everything feels too big and scary. And trust me, we've all been there. Here's how it works. And I swear this isn't some productivity guru nonsense. This is real practical stuff. So first, set a timer for 2 minutes, just 2. That's like the length of a TikTok video. So all you have to do is write the title in maybe one sentence and that's it. I know it sounds ridiculously easy. That's the whole point. Your brain can't come up with excuses not to do something that takes 2 minutes. So after those 2 minutes, something weird happens. You might actually want to keep going, but if you don't, no pressure. Take a quick break, check your phone for a minute, then set another timer for 5 minutes. So here's where it gets fun. During these 5 minutes, I want you to write worst 5 drafts possible. Like seriously, make it bad. I'm talking horrible grammar, incomplete sentences, and random thoughts. Whatever. The goal isn't to write well, it's just to get stuff out of your brain onto the page. Then comes the 15-minute session. By this point, you've actually started. You've got something to work with, and your brain is kind of in the zone. The best part, you're not sitting there thinking, I have to write this perfect essay right now. Nah, you're just writing a title. Everything else is a bonus point. Last, but definitely not the least, let's talk about the motivation bridge method. This one specifically for my people who can't stop checking their phones every 5 minutes. I see you. I was you, and here's the thing. Your brain is basically addicted to the instant happiness you got from social media. Double tap, get a like, feel good, but studying? That satisfaction takes over forever to kick in. No wonder we keep reaching for our phones, so here's what we're gonna do about it. So first, we're creating what I call mini wins. Instead of having this huge goal like study chapter 3, we break it down into tiny victories you can celebrate every 20 minutes. Let's say you're reading that super dry textbook chapter. Your mini wins might be reading 2 pages, writing down 3 main points, coming up with your own examples, or connecting it to something you already know. So every time you hit one of these mini wins, you get to do something satisfying. Maybe cross it off a list, fill in a progress bar, or use one of those aesthetic habit tracking apps. Here's another cool trick. Make your study setup actually enjoyable, like study at your favorite coffee shop. Put on that perfectly study playlist. Use those fancy highlighters you bought or make your study space Instagram worthy. So you're basically tricking your brain into something studying is fun. And eventually it kind of becomes fun, or at least not that horrible. Now, let's take rewards. And I don't mean after I finish studying, I'll watch Netflix for 6 hours. We need something that won't completely destroy your productivity. So after an hour of solid work, you could take a quick call and blast your favorite songs, do a mini workout, FaceTime a friend or few minutes, grab a snack and actually enjoy it away from your desk. The whole point is to make studying suck less by giving your brain those little hits of happiness it's craving. You're not fighting against your need for instant gratification, you're working with it. So, alright, let's wrap this up. Here's the thing. I know we covered a lot today and you might be feeling a bit overwhelmed, but remember, you don't have to implement everything at once. That's actually the opposite of what we just learned, right? Start with just one of these strategies. Maybe the progressive starting technique spoke to you because you struggle with getting started. Or maybe you're like, yeah, I need that task sandwich in my life. Pick one thing and try it this week. The goal isn't to become some productivity robot who never procrastinates. Let's be real, you're still going to procrastinate sometimes, and that's okay. The goal is to procrastinate less and stress less when you do need to get things done. Here's what I want you to do right now. Like literally right now while you're watching this. Pick one strategy you're going to try. Open your phone, set a reminder for tomorrow to actually try it. Drop a comment below telling me which one of you chose. This makes it real and I want to hear how it goes for you. And hey, if these strategies help you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we've got more study tips and college life hacks coming your way. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Until next time, remember, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to start.